'Cause I've been feeling that crazy, and I need to lose control. So baby, put the record on. Baby, put the record on. Hit it. And I've been needing that crazy, and I gotta let it go. So baby, put the record on. Am I gonna need that song? Hit it.
All right. A little something special for the WGGGMBUCC. It's a lyrical sculpture in the sand that I carve. This is Flash on the mic, now on the Algarve. From 40 to 60, we are on the attack. If I can just get some vitamin I from my back foot on the line, yeah, I'm ready to go. Or did I just pull a muscle? Hold on for a moment. Play it cool. Just act like I'm young. Got flicks on my wrist and lyrics on my tongue. 20 more, 10 more years left to go. Tricks from the past and a buttery flow. A little slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. I got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Yeah, I got some dodgy knees. Disc in my hand and the sun in the sky. My dad bod goes jiggle and my hucks they fly. The spirits are rising like a disc on the breeze, going miles out of bounds to the Portuguese seas. I played a point, yeah, I need a sub and a good long soak in an XL tub. Don't need to run anymore, I'm one of 14 handlers. Happy Gilmore this disc like we're all Adam Sandlers. I'm slow off the start. I like to call it brisk. The sunshine glints on my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between my toes. We got none of the pivots, but all the throws. Alright, let's finish this off. My 6'2" still works in the bar. I can see from miles. Got drinks on my radar. Portimao Party is the place we flee for the friends we see and these great memories. Yeah, I feel the spirit as I pull every sinew. Shatter my knees, yet we're gonna continue. Take this hand, better yet carry me from the beach to the bar, better yet to the sea. I'm slow off the start. I like to call my speed brisk. The sunshine glints off my slow-moving disc. You know how it goes with the sand between our toes. We got none of the pivots, but all of the throws.
Welcome back to PRESUMEY, Sardinia. We've been here for 4 days straight enjoying the sunshine, and despite a couple clouds overhead, it's not going to stop us from getting through this banger of a bronze match at WGGMBUCC. Spangled, the defending champs from the U.S., taking on Team Finland, defending silver medalists from last year. I'm Stefan Rapazzo alongside John Doc to bring the action. Doc, we've had bangers all day. Expecting another one here?
Yeah, it has a bit of a tough job to live up to what we've already seen. We've had 3 games already, and the biggest margin of victory in any of those has been by 2 points. Finland here versus Spangled. It's going to be a tough one for the Finns. I've been working on Spangled. I've been mixing it up with Scrambled. That's because they had our brains scrambled in the game yesterday against Natsuo. But this one has the potential to be a great game. We were saying how the Finns, possibly some of the best hooks at this tournament. The wind has picked up a little. Somehow the rain has stayed away from this game. You would have to slightly favor the Americans in this game. However, they're not playing for gold. They came in as the #1 seed. There might be a little bit of lack of, not ambition, but sometimes when you've missed out on your big goal, you lose that little bit of extra maybe grit or fight. And I think honestly the Finns coming into this, if you told them they'd be playing for third, maybe at the start they would have said, I don't know, but like I feel like right now the Finns, you would imagine, have to be the team sensing this as, hey, let's go win this last game, let's go take this medal and like have the game of our lives. And I said it yesterday in the Finns semi-final, I think if they can have a strong start, maybe get 2 points up, I think then we can have a really interesting game.
Well, all that about to be decided. A rematch of last year's grand finale here in the bronze medal match. Of course, one match remains after this, the grand finale. The teams that beat these two teams respectively yesterday, that'll be Chicken Pox as it's pronounced, who beat Finland, and Noot Bootsma, who got through a nail biter, an absolute classic, against Spangled yesterday. Here we go. It's Finland starting Vaskio with the disc. Vitari right back to Vaskio. Set deep, and Yalovara is all alone, but not in. Spins and quickly flips one to Hasbaka, and Finland open up with a huck to cut the meters and a backhand actually, and a nice follow-up to get the goal.
I think the only surprise there on that Finnish offense was that it was a backhand thrown, and I would say yesterday their flicks, again, like I've said, their flicks, it's hard to even describe how good I think some of the flicks have been by the Finns this week. I would say, given the conditions, some of the best flicks I've probably ever seen, like since I've been playing the sport in my 15-ish years, which is absolute rookie numbers to all of these players, showing there they can do the backhands as well. And
a true veteran in most rights there, Doc, and you get to a tournament like this, and I suppose it pales in comparison with some of the experience levels we see around the traps here.
Exactly.
Stern fields the pole and goes to Fur. Fur to Stern. Looked up line to Salvia. Beach cuts up line, but very heavy traffic, goes center to Fur. Crosses the field, Attic collects. Attic goes wide and behind for Beach. Beach turns and pops a backhand for Fur. Fur leads one out, Stern can't get there. And Finland get a first kick at the break can.
They're back underway quickly.
Quickly indeed, Koski goes into the backfield, Viljami, and to the end zone, and it is caught, Furka, but we've got a pick called.
Yeah, that one was called pretty early as well, but take nothing away from that grab. I thought it was going to fade away from the receiver. Fantastic throw, really nice weight on that throw, and a great reaching grab. There was a lot of difficult aspects to get the disc to that target in that position with the angle of the throw there. So pick called, and now there's discussion on the force as well. I mean, don't know. The pick did come very early. And we'll see. Doubt we'll see the same throw again there. I always hate it when there's a pick and you had the momentum going, but you don't get to take that momentum back. I often feel like if you're running and they're stationary, I feel like you should almost get an extra step or two head start.
We're back into play. Koski. And bid, but it gets the whole way through. And Mikko Vili collects, and that's a break. It's 2-0 after that.
Yeah, and again, I think a deserved score for the Finns. That was a bullet of a throw, and great focus on the receiver to hold on to that. Not an easy one when you have a player laying out in front across of you. And like I said, I thought if the Finns could get a 2-point lead, I think I should have clarified maybe a 2-break lead. So I think here, if the Finns were to go out and get this one, you're probably going to see a timeout by Spangled, and if they don't take the timeout and they go here, maybe the Finns could have really shown up for this. And perhaps we didn't see the best of the Finns in some of their last games. They've had strong starts in every game. Usually I find it gets close to 7s, and then the other team starts to pull away and they finish up on about 7 or 8 points against most of the US teams. But one more break here and I would start to fancy the Finns' chances of going on and maybe even possibly getting the win here if they can take a 3-0 lead. But at the moment I would say it's about level now on who I think might win this, maybe a slight edge with the US team.
And that one goes out of bounds. Hasbaka on the other side. Mr. Hasbaka marking the spot where it went out of bounds. And Monahan opting for the brick. Mr. Teal. Still haven't confirmed, but I'm sure it's his favorite color.
Probably. He's a bit less teal today. Doesn't have the leg wear.
Fry comes under. Taylor hits the deck. He leads Monahan, and he does pick up the trailing edge. Asked a lot of him, and he gave. And they put one on the board. It's 2-1, still to the Finns.
Yeah, fantastic crap there in the corner with the right hand as the disc is trailing away from him. That throw into that corner is a difficult one to get right. I've said it in almost every game so far. That is the corner where you will see the disc going the most often, and it's just a case of whether the players can get the right spin and angle on the disc to just get it to sit for the receiver. And that time did just enough and push the receiver to make a tough grab. As we get a look here at the venue, fantastic venue here in our bronze medal games. The sun is shining, we've avoided the rain. If you've not ever been here for a tournament and you get an opportunity, I'd highly recommend it. Fantastic venue, nice little town, good atmosphere. Most things short. Most players, I think, maybe actually cycling around the city and the venue here. City, I call it more like a big town, I guess. But fantastic place to play, and delighted we got here this week.
Right there with you, Doc. Delighted and excited as we push in to our last 2 games. Vaskio with the disc for the Finns. High stall count, but he does get a little bit of space opened up for Vatoranta and back to Vaskio. Now, Ristaniemi back to Vatoranta and Yalovara. Vaskio to Hasbaka. And now far sideline sees Vatoranta. All the way across, going to ground. Ristaniemi. Vaskio. Vaskio to the corner, but it's too high. Even for Yalovara, who's been awesome in the end zone. Couldn't get to that one, too much on it.
Yeah, technically I think he was actually trying to get it around that defender, so I think he actually did the first part really well. He just couldn't get it to come back in enough, and easy to say it here when you see where the disc lands, but had the receiver maybe run more towards the back corner, I think that disc actually would have come back in, and perhaps that was the intention on the throw. He really is a great thrower, so almost perfect but just out of reach. And Spangled going to get a chance here. To go back. I apologize to them for keep butchering their name this week, but
that's how she goes sometimes, Doc. We can't get them right all of the time.
I could get it right one of the times, though, I think.
Spangled, and Stone goes over top, and that throw did not come out well at all. Picked up by Vaskio. And some hard charging crosses defensively to prevent the immediate throw.
Stall out call,
it looks like it is a stall out call. And Yalovara does score, but I feel like this one's got to be coming back.
I'm not 100% sure. I feel like I heard the T of the 10, but I don't know how fast it was.
Yeah, that's the question. I mean, I'm sure he said 10. How fast he got there, whether that was 10 seconds or not, is the bigger question.
And usually we know how these things go.
Yeah, you put a clock to them and you're astonished that they somehow 4 seconds disappeared. Coming in at 8.
And then with the decision, we know how it goes. We'll talk for a bit, and then sometimes you should be able to just skip the discussion, say, look, Do we think this is going to be the usual? And the usual is we're not sure, so we're going to bring it back. But sometimes it could have been a fast 10. Usually if someone's going to go fast, it is the 10 from the 9. Some players just count all of them fast and still do the 10 fast. But I haven't seen too many stall outs this weekend, so I'm going to presume most players are counting pretty honestly here.
Vasquio gives and gets it back, fires and misses. Yalovara was there, but the throw just a bit too far in front.
Yeah, I think one thing there, I've praised a lot of the Finns' throws this week for how good they are throwing, but there was a tight window. That one did have to be thrown pretty hard. But that also means on these shorter throws, they are just more difficult to catch. And I think perhaps that's a bit of the reason why you're seeing the Finns on the shorter passes struggle a little bit more, is that they're really snapping all their throws. And when you're hooking it, it's the easiest one because you're throwing it to someone moving the same way. So the speed difference between the disc and they just turf one.
Uh-oh, Knapp can't get that one out, and then they respond in kind. And Vatoranta offers a easy turnover right back to Spangled. Knapp. He wants Stone and double pivots to get him. Felstad gets it upfield. Gerari leads for Stone. Stone barking commands to move, essentially, and then Felstad. Back to Stone. Low backhand. Gerari does a good job to collect. Leads to Felstad. And Spangled tie things up with a break of their own.
Yeah, Spangled's going to be happy to get that one. The Finns missed a couple of opportunities, and I sense it's a real missed opportunity for the Finns there to get that one and restore that 2-point lead. It feels like this kind of is how every game with the Finns against a team from the States has gone so far. They come out solid on offense at the start. They get some deep shots going, and the under game maybe isn't on the same level as their deep game. And the US team, Spangled here, just staying close with them. And if it's going to be the same as all the other games, this one's going to trade to maybe 4s or 5s, and then the Spangled might pull away. So that's why I'm saying I really want to see the Finns coming out strong like they have in every other game, which they're capable of doing. And I mean, they had the chances there. It's not like Spangled was all over them for that break. But the Finns going to have to do a little bit better. And I actually think they might be better at playing into this slight breeze, given their style of play. It does help you as a hooker sometimes. When you can reach the end zone, a slight upwind actually helps you to sit the disc out there better.
Oivio and Koski open the possession for Finland. That one comes under. Furka. Niljami. Viljami again to Oivio. Viljami and Furka far side of the field. Finns chipping away. Oivio goes around, and Fry picks the pocket. Double layout, but her hand extended further. Salvia goes to Fur. Fur takes Fry. Salvia leads into the corner. Fur is there. Fur motioning backhands. Nia comes through late and finds the open seam. In for a goal. Spangled take a lead. That's 3 in a row.
Yeah, unfortunate for the Finns. Great defensive pressure in the handler area by Spangled on that point. Great layout block here. I'm not sure if the receiver was going to be able to get it anyway. I think it might have been out of her reach, but if the defender wasn't there, she probably could have run it down instead. And I think they've been perfect on their break opportunities, and the Finns now in a bit of a tough spot here. I imagine in a game like this, when you're up against like any European team going up against a team from the States, you always come out with this belief at the start that, hey, if we come out, start, push strong, we can do this. And I'm sure the Finns had that, but then you find the other team, you take the lead, they come back, they get 1 or 2 breaks, and the head starts to drop because you almost sense there's a somewhat inevitability about what's possibly going to happen. And the worst part for the Finns is they've already been in this exact situation almost twice, and it's just going to feel like a bit of deja vu for them this week, where if the Americans weren't here, Finns would probably be taking the gold medal this week, but they are here.
They are indeed chugging their weight around, so to speak. 2 in a row for Finland to open the game. 3 in a row now for the team formerly known as Murka. As Ulonen opens the possession. Ruduihainen gets it up to Santilja. Around for Antinoja. And now Ulonen high over top and lands right in the hands of Santilja. And that ties things at 3 apiece with a hold for the Finns.
Yeah, good job by the Finns there. And I like that last throw. I know it looked like the defender had it, but I do believe the intention was to get it into that back corner. And the Finnish offensive player doing a great job there of realizing that his defender had gone up too early and he wasn't going to get it. And it's just one of those things where sometimes you just need a little bit of luck like that, and maybe that's what the Finns needed here just to get themselves back on track. Finns now going to get an opportunity to get a break. They haven't had this opportunity in a while, and we've seen them get one already, so there's no reason to suggest they won't go out and get another one here. Their D-line is obviously going to have had a little bit of a break. They do have a pretty deep roster, but something tells me they might tighten it up a little bit here maybe in this game. As we get ready to get back underway here.
16 and change have expired.
Spangled back underway and moving it between the handlers. Good defensive pressure by the Finns to start this point.
And Neras goes to Stone. Girari spinning, high stall count. Neras comes under. Around to Stone. Stone to Fur up to Kale up the line. And Kale waiting for something. Stone gives an option. Kale leads. Girari, 2 hands, not in yet. On the doorstep, fires and hits. Stone for the goal. That's a hold and a lead taker. Back up by 1, it's 4-3.
Yeah, I did like the defensive pressure there by the Finns. I felt they came down and they did a little bit better of a job than they've done in some of the previous points. But again, Spangled just able to hold on to it, able to work it and eventually get it in. And again, I think if the Finns can keep at least that much pressure on every defensive point going forward, they will get some opportunities, give themselves a chance to make some plays. But it's a tough one out there because chasing these Spangled players around, it's just tough. I do think they have a slight speed advantage, but the Finns close there, and if they can keep putting in the offensive points, they will get some chances.
Fur set to pull. And Oivio goes for Koski and then Furka. Uh-oh. Furka gets picked off by Fur, and he looks to Attic. Now upfield, across to Stern. Stern fires, Salvia's there sure-handedly, and this break could hurt. It will. Attic is there, and a 2-point lead on a third break of the game. The break line 3-1, the score line 5-3.
Yeah, that one feels there like a big break for Spangled, and the Finns, you can see the way they're kind of walking back. The heads have definitely dropped there. 1 point down to one of the American teams. You always feel there's a chance, but when they get that extra break, you just start to feel like this one's going to start slipping away. And like I said, the Finns have been here twice already, at least in this tournament, against the two teams in the final, and now they're starting to feel it again. And I'm not sure how they're going to really turn this one around. They're going to need Spangled to start making a few more mistakes.
Spangled are playing without their Filipino contingent, their Pinoy players, as the question from Straight Arrow poses. Unable to make it this time around. Were they the difference? Will only be left to wonder. Oivio goes to Ulaunen. Ulaunen to Santilia. Great throw on a lateral cut. Small window. Ulaunen to Santilia. He does full 360 pivot. Ulaunen makes sure of it by leaving her feet. And back and forth in the middle. Far, there was an open player. Tihonen was open on the sideline, and the throw went up the middle at a high stall count, and the results obviously unfavorable for Finland. Monahan to Taylor. Back again. DeZono. Wang had taken off deep, had some separation. Taylor and Wang goes. This time they'll put it, and this time he'll get there. All you got to do is put it high and keep it in bounds for Wang, I'd say, and he's going to have advantage over just about anybody in this division covering him. We're going to take a short break here for the timeout. We'll be back with more action right after this. I worked for a Michelin star chef making gelato in Paris. I had my own restaurant in Nicaragua and a food truck in Australia. Why wouldn't you watch me? Check out my YouTube channel.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with Alti TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
At 6-3, a timeout taken by Finland to try and stem the flow here. There's been 3 in a row and a small break before 2 in a row prior. They need to find ways to get these holds here. Doc, do we go to the John Doc School of Hucking at this stage, or is that what's not working?
I mean, I'm not sure what other options that the Finns really have to do. They have to do something, I think, different. as much as the offense is the problem, I just see that they're going to struggle to get blocks as well. So it's not just the offense, it's the defense. It's a bit of everything. And sometimes you just say, look, the other team they're just better. Their players across the board are better and they're faster. And I'm not really sure. I mean, if I'm the Finns there, I just think, okay, what other tactics or things like that do I have that I can use as options and try and bring them out? Because there's nothing to lose at this stage. Right now, everything suggests you're going to lose. At least the only thing that's in your, I mean.
Oh no, first throw turnover and Stoney takes over. Naris fires, Stone looks for Felstat. I think he asked a bit much. No, he didn't. I think he kept the toes down in the corner. That's a tough one.
Signal
And they've
goal
given
on the
it. I
field.
thought so initially. Here's another look. Let's see the chase there coming into that corner. Did he leave his feet? No, he's good. You agree?
I didn't have the best view, but I think he did it, especially in beach because you can drag the line as well. So
Yeah.
if your foot's under it, just because you touch the line in beach doesn't mean you're out if your foot's under it. And that's going to be half for the Spangled.
Well, Spangled are clearly motivated for the bronze medal after being ousted yesterday. They have come with a full head of steam, and they're giving it all. They're up 7-3. It's halftime. We'll take a break and be back with more action in the second half.
I'm Steph Pazzo, and I must eat.
Sometimes commentator, sometimes food eater.
On my ultimate travels in 2023, I sampled culinary classics from all across Europe,
Oh, wow.
guided by some of your favorite ultimate players.
That's the Dutch hospitality for you right there.
I'll give you an insight into the secret spots that only the locals know of.
Are these the best schnitzels in Vienna?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course.
Go find Steph Pazzo on YouTube. Like and subscribe and follow the European Ultimate Must Eat series.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with Ulti TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
I worked for a Michelin star chef making gelato in Paris. I had my own restaurant in Nicaragua and a food truck in Australia. Why wouldn't you watch me eat? Check out my YouTube channel.
Oh my goodness. That is unbelievable. And created the tip and made for it.
That was absolutely incredible.
We are back at WGGMBUCC, the greatest acronym in sports and one of the greatest tournaments on earth here in Sardinia. Villasimius, a big first half for Spangled, gives them a 7-3 buffer. I'm Steph Pazzo here with John Doc, talking ultimate into your ears. Thanks for keeping your eyes locked onto your screens. Doc, these star-spangled Yankees are firing on all cylinders as Rocky Beach picks up that layout. Now Stern to Attic, and there's an error. Can the Finns convert and make them pay for the mistake?
You sense this might be one of the only times left in the game where the Finns have a chance to stay in this game.
Koski winded up and Furka. It's thrown behind. I think a throwing error more so than receiving. Attic goes back to Beach. Beach looks up, sends deep for Fur. Fur's there first and bigger, but bobbles and drops. And Finland will take the disc back.
Yeah, one or two Finnish players turning their heads in disappointment to walk towards the sideline when they saw that disc coming down. Another gift here. I said they're not going to get too many chances left to keep themselves in this game. They've gotten a second break opportunity in this one. You feel they need to convert this point.
Koski starts things off. Now the big shot comes out of the hands of Asikainen. That's floating and unable to make the play in the end. Rocky Beach on defense. Fry looks up and sends. Rocky Beach has separation. Rocky Beach with the goal in the end zone. And Spangled stretch ahead by 5. It's an 8-3 buffer. They got to be seeing the finish line at this stage.
Yeah, I think that point kind of shows us the difference a bit between these two teams, where the two shots that went up by Spangled, they have a player wide open coming down on the receiving end of them, whereas the Finnish shots are just more contested and just some throwing errors. And I mean, it's a bit tough for the Finns in this one, because if you basically got rid, like I said already, other than the three US teams that do seem just clearly better than everyone else, the Finns would be probably the team to get the medal here. But those 3 US teams, there's just been a clear gap all week between them and everyone else, and the Finns are the next closest team to them. But even then, it's not really that close. This is the 3rd time we've seen them, and it's the 3rd time the game has gone the same way. And the US players just too fast, and they can match the Finns in almost every area that the Finns excel in.
Jolly sends the pull. Ulaunen takes the first throw to Tihonen. Inside. Santilia goes to ground. Santilia wants to take it all. He's gone to Ruihainen. And Wang is there to take it away. Foul called on the play.
Not sure that one.
Looks like the foul has been retracted.
Yeah, I think that one was, it was the right call. It looked like the defender going up for that was trying to be as clean as he could, and so there's definitely no contact, and it did look like he got the hand there. The Finnish player probably got a few fingers around at touching it, but they think that the US, the Spangled player, did touch it first.
Jolly sporting a sweet, I don't know, mohawk or mullet. I don't know what you call it, but I love it. He sends up the line, and that could be never into touch tape. I don't think so. They're saying that's coming all the way back, so couldn't even huck for position there. Hucked, and we'll have it come back in right on the doorstep against them.
Yeah, Finn's probably glad that one's going to be a slow one to come back in. They get to just set up, take a second here or two, and you know, it's not over yet, but it's such a mountain to climb. This one they just need to pop it in and get the D-line out there as fast as they can.
Santilia spins, dump to Tihonen, up to Ulaunen. On the doorstep, Santilia fires it in to a very tight space, has Ruihainen, and the Finns take it to 8-4.
Yeah, much needed one there, even just for the sake of the mentality to want to keep on playing. I feel if that one had gone to 9-3 instead, the Finns would have just dropped the heads, and they might not have even scored for the rest of the game. Whereas getting that one, they get the D-line out there. They're still going to feel like they have something to play for. There's no point giving up. You never know Spangled have had 1 or 2 games this tournament where they've been in a good. Essentially, they've had a game won and lost at one stage already, perhaps against a different caliber of team to the Finns, but they're not unbeatable, and they're not incapable of throwing away a few points in a row. And if there's a team outside of the clubs from the States that have any chance at capitalizing on those mistakes, it would be the Finns. So 4-point game, you know, the most unlikely of comebacks. It would be it's probably less likely now than the game we had yesterday between mixed remasters, where they came back from a very unlikely position. I feel the Finns are in that, but again, there's still the time left, so I feel like this is the big one now for the Finns.
Mickael leads out front. Neris on the pickup. High release over the shoulder to Felstad. Now Stone. Stone goes around with a forehand, finds Felstad. Pick called.
It's going to be a turnover.
It should be.
It must have happened a long, long time ago. But
It did happen a long time ago.
To the rules, it should be it should go back, but to me, it should be I just think it's a turn. I just think that has to be a turn. I mean, but
if it's not the rules, I mean, based on what? Just
based on it looked like everyone that was providing an option that they would have looked like got free. It's not like an opportunity was missed. They took the options they would have wanted and turned over. Had there been different options available, or they looked off dumps, then I agree. But in that one, they just messed up.
So, but this is your contesting the rules.
Yes.
Okay. Felstad can't catch that one, and that ends up going the Finnish way a few throws later. Vitari to Yalovana, and then up the line, led for goal! What a grab for Finland! The layout by Furka. A break for the Finns, that's 2 in a row. Still need 3 to go to tie.
Yeah, great grab there on the end to get down. Like I said, just to keep the energy levels of the Finns. And you know what? If that had been just a pancake catch, it probably would have been worse for the Finns. You could see there the arms raised, everyone celebrated. And to go back to the last one where I said contested the rules, I think the number 1 rule in Ultimate is you can always ignore a rule when you say what would have happened. And that's maybe the one I'm looking at, that where I feel it was a deserved turn. They got the disc back and they scored, so we're not going to worry about it making any difference in this one. The Finns got their deserved turnover, in my opinion, and made their grab.
I like the explanation. I think I agree with you, but there's a but. I mean, I don't think any captain would agree with that. If the rule says to send it back, I guess if that was their actual intent, nobody heard, or none of the people involved had any idea that there was a pick on its way there. It would show a lot of integrity to accept that as a turnover, while the rule book,
I mean,
would say that you have the opportunity to.
I've been on teams
maintain.
where I've told my players it's a turn because it didn't hurt us. If it only benefits you and you turn, it's a turn. And like I said, there was no other options looked at. It wasn't like someone stopped that was involved. It was the players involved got what they wanted and still turned.
Rocky Beach takes the under on the far sideline from Stern. Fur cuts up line in a tight spot, but gets it in front of Santilia. Now Peter Nia hits the deck in a commando roll, but he's got the disc. Leads for Beach and other options. Salvia takes it. Could have been either or. Nia with the assist, Salvia with the goal.
Yeah, and I think that little roll there helped him a little bit. The force didn't follow him up enough as he set up. It was open side. I'm not sure the force would have jumped across to block that one, but the Finns again, just another chance here on offense to try and get it, and we will see if they can score another one here to keep themselves in it. just lovely weather here. I don't know how we avoided that rain a short while ago. It seemed inevitable. We felt some drops coming, and then I guess just how hot this day has been on this field with the results and games we've had before this. It must have just been the heat off the scoreboard that kept the rain away.
Yeah, not sure. I mean, I thought like the fact that you were talking about it coming, didn't we agree that was why?
That was the strategy we used. I said, here it comes.
Any second now.
And it stayed away, so.
But, I mean,
It's still coming, right?
How blue are these? Exactly, still on its way.
Still
Any
coming.
minute now. Hasbaka and Vasquio. Vitari comes underneath. Leads up line. Hasbaka runs into it. Hasbaka with a low release, and it gets away. And now picked up by Taylor to go the other way. Taylor to DeSoto, and Hasbaka gets it right back. Vasquio fires, hits Yalovara for the goal. And Finland keep charging, chipping away, staying in it. It's 6-9, work to do, but they still got a heartbeat.
That's it. Every time the Finns can just knock it in no point, and you see here, there's going to be a timeout here called by Spangled. Probably a good time for them to take the timeout. It just runs down a little bit more of the clock for the Finns and gives them less time to make that comeback.
And with that, we'll take a short break here too. We'll be back with the tail end of the bronze medal game from WGGMBUCC. We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my! Somehow they do it! Oh my goodness! That is unbelievable! And straight into Chen and Maehr!
That was absolutely incredible.
And after the timeout, Finland will set themselves up to pull. As Spangleds have cut the clock to 43 minutes expired now, so less than 7 to play.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to go on a run of breaks here. There's only so much time left, and if they don't get the breaks now, I just don't see it happening. So for me, every point here on out is essentially, I'm going to treat it like a game point. It's not a bad way to start.
First throw to Monahan, now Rocky Beach. Monahan, up line to Fry, up the middle to Fry rather. Now Salvia. Monahan, Attic, winds up, gets the defender to slip. Fry switches direction wisely, but in a bit of a lost footing, couldn't catch up to the overthrow.
Yeah, I actually think she did a great job in recognizing that she wasn't going to get that on the under early, and she turned, and just unfortunately for her, she lost her feet multiple times.
Yeah, it was a throwing error. The throw was too much, you're right. And she did do a great job. One stick in the sand there, and she probably would have recovered.
Yeah, just she seemed like she was running like out of a cartoon, doing the road runner with the beep beep.
Yes. Spinning legs. Here's the deep forehand, and it's the deep part has a little extra emphasis on it. Fry to Attic. Leads for Monahan. Set deep. Can Beach get there? No, it's too far again. And Finland will take over.
I think it's 1 or 2 steps away from, in my opinion, putting it to bed. Finn's going to get their chance here again. Going to get their break chance, and they got the field to go. But like I've said with the Finns already, there's no part of the field where I start to think they're going to struggle. Doesn't matter the conditions. Multiple players on their team able to hit the end zone in one shot in the wind, and we've already seen they have multiple players who can run it down. The only difficult part here is getting that separation, I think. The throw will come if the separation is there, but can they get that separation when you'd imagine Spangled are kind of expecting it? You can see they're already doing a bracket here, and maybe the Finns probably need to just stretch that player deep and have their number 21 just pull towards us here and potentially use some overheads. We haven't seen any of those really from the Finns.
Nice grab by Furka. In the end zone, back to middle. Antinoia, and something's going on here. We got a discussion that's coming all the way back to the near sideline.
Calling for it back. I didn't hear what the call was. No idea.
No, nor did I, but it's back in the hands of Vili with Beach on him. That was the conversation as well. Antinoia leads and fires. Great second effort to make the catch for Furka. Furka dumps back. Putila. And a big swing across. Nice pickup to take that. Asikainen. And I think it's an injury. I thought there was a call for a second, but Asikainen has hit the ground and has jarred something. It seems like perhaps a back. We'll hope he's okay. Vaskio will come in, and that's a handy replacement at this hour to put your best thrower on the disc.
Yeah, the receiver did have to work for that one. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe a couple of teams in Europe, I mightn't give them the benefit of the doubt in that situation, but I'm going to trust these Finn players here that...
Yeah, he seemed immediately jarred. I don't think there was any, hey, I'm going to get my top guy. But Russ Furr jumps on for Spangled as well, a handy replacement. Vaskio. Turns to Furka. Furka does not give it now. Still does not give it. Faking the words out of my mouth right now. Pops Attic there, but nice grab by Putila. And the next throw is too far for Vaskio. The Spangled pressure too much. And Furr walks away from the disc and will let Monahan pick up. And Spangled will get into a stack set with Furr as the flank. Monahan, backhand, not in. Attic in front of the line. Pivots into and around the mark. Tests once. Now the pop and the around to Fry, who gets 2 hands on it. It's 10-6, but there seems to be an anti-climactic nature about this. Is it not counting, Doc?
I can only imagine it's like a stall out or a travel call. I mean, something maybe these players could do a little bit of work with in their future careers is working on the hand signals. But I know that's a more recent push in Ultimate for the younger players.
Implemented way beyond their heydays.
I don't think these players are used to being not recently, but I don't think they grew up on streamed games of Ultimate.
No, I talked to ask Greenfield that question. How many times were you streamed in 21 worlds? Okay, in the last 10 years, he's got lots. He's got 30 years of experience. 0 world games, world championships. Never on a streamed game. Fur gives the backhand to Monahan. Monahan leads and hits. Fur is there, and that one will count. Make it 10-6. Second half has been tidier for Finland. It's all holds with 1 break for them. They are winning the second half. But with time running out, time has run out. We're going to finish this next point, add 1. So it'll either be a game to 11 if Finland score or 12 if Spangled score. It is a big uphill climb for Finland if they're going to be able to steal this one.
One thing I've liked with the Finns, every time is going, that we've seen them, I think every time we've seen them on the stream against Rainbow Warriors, they've been down by multiple points, and every time they've been asking, hey, is it finished this ad one? Especially number 6 here, every single time he comes over to check. And I don't think you come over asking those questions unless you at least believe it's possible. So they're not going to give up.
Finish this point and add 1.
I was almost tempted to make the joke earlier that I'm waiting for number 6 to come over from Finland and find out what time it is, but multiple players on their team doing it, and will be finished this at 1.
Did that pull never go in?
Yes, maybe they just feel it. Maybe they feel that by doing this, the Finns can't use their deep game.
I don't think that was a strategy, Doc, but I like your take on it.
You see the Japanese do it.
Yeah, I've seen some very bizarre things as such. I don't necessarily like it, and that's too high, and multiple people are able to swat that away. And foul accept is, where's the foul accept on the throw? So that'll come back to Ulaunen. Ulaunen to Tihonen. Low throw, tests the mark by Koski, then Ulaunen comes again. In the corner, to the corner, hits for Ruihainen. And we've got ourselves, no, we're not done that point yet.
I'm very confused.
Let's try one more time here, see what we get.
This is a very funny looking
What's
way.
the call, Doc?
I don't know. I gave up trying to figure out what the calls were with the Spangled games yesterday. This game has been fine. I just make a joke. The one yesterday was a bit crazy. It was hard to figure out what was going on at times, and I'm sure in this game when they're up by the margin, they're up by it. They're not going to be making those questionable calls, probably legit calls. And sometimes maybe a call gets translated a bit late and the Finns don't hear it, and then they think it comes very late, and it's not always easy. Sometimes I take for granted the fact that it's my first language, that it's so easy for me to always understand what players are saying, whereas sometimes they have to take an extra second maybe to process what's been said.
It's back in the hands of Ulaunen. And she turns and gives the backhand. Koski leads. And this time, there is no two ways about it. Tihonen scores. It is a game to 11, 10-7.
4 in a row for the Finns. I mean, in all your commentary career, where would this comeback rank if they were to go on a run of 4 breaks here?
I mean, pretty high in a bronze medal game. It depends on the fashion of getting there, but yeah, I mean, just to be able to hold break, no matter what, there's going to be some level of impression left upon.
I do think we had this score already this week, but I believe the team down started on offense, so it has been something close to this has been done.
Yeah, it would be a big one.
But as we said, it is for a medal, and I mean, if they score, they score. You get to go home, so you got to just put everything out there for the last few points. Bigger comebacks have happened. This is
It is a
Spangled
game
score
to
again.
11.
Yeah, Spangled score. It's going to be a gold, silver, bronze for the red, white, and blue.
Monahan to Salvia. To Zono comes under and is tightly covered as Hastbacka turns into a Hastbackpacka a little bit there.
Chuckle, chuckle.
And Monahan to Taylor. Oh, and he tries to go over, and that's taken away by Viljami, and Hastbacka now has the disc. Viljami to Furka, leads right in front of the end zone, and we've got a call.
I think if it was the player carrying Hastbacka, I think potentially I did see a pick there. I thought it was one of the male matching players, and I was gonna start making some accusations, but I think it was a fair pick call.
Vatoranta to Hastbacka. She spins around. High, nice take. Haramo to Furka, leads and hits for the goal. Vatoranta gets horizontal, and that is 1 point of extended play.
It all starts with one. Every big journey starts with a first step. So
there's only one way to eat an elephant, Doc, and that's one bite at a time.
And
The Finns take the first nibble here. Can they keep chomping?
I don't know if elephant maybe is in my dietary list of all the things I do, but as you said, have to start with one. I wouldn't knock their chances of getting one or two more. It is a tough spot for them, but they got one. They've shown they can do it. That's going to feed the belief. I think if they get this one, a little bit of nerves start creeping into Spangled. They started asking, hey, what's the score? Like, I've heard them multiple times now asking it's game to this, blah, 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 trying to confirm that the position they're in is good. And that means, you know, normally you don't really care too much about the scoreboard if you're up, but they'll start to feel the nerves a bit on this one if they get broken.
Yeah, then you get the momentum for one side, but also the planted seed of doubt for the other. Once it gets harder to close a game out, that definitely resonates and reverberates.
And I think it's fair
in
to
your
say
mind.
the crowd here would also be starting to start thinking, hey, maybe.
You get that sixth player.
It's usually the crowd are the first ones to make you realize something's going on. You don't always get them, so you don't realize it. But in the big games, you can tell when they sense something big could be coming.
Arlie Stern goes to Fry. Fry leads the backhand. Fur there. Bronze medal on the line. Beach was open, but they take the near side to Attic. Attic goes, and that's too low.
Foul called, uncontested it seems.
On the throw, okay, I didn't quite see it the first time around, so
Looks like
perhaps,
a quick uncontested.
Yeah,
so.
uncontested.
Just not what the fans want. But it did seem an uncharacteristically poor throw.
I mean, if we're going with what the fans want, then that should have been a hammer. Fur catches up to that one. Turns back. Leads Santilia charging towards Beach. Beach goes around, floats it up. Attic's there. And Spangled are your bronze medalists for WGGMBUCC 2025. Taking one over Finland in this bronze medal match.
Yeah, fantastic game overall. I realize there's a bit of a gap on the score, and if you've been following the games today, you might say that was some ways the most boring game, but there was no shortage of quality. The Finns kept pushing. It was their best result against any of the teams from the US this week, and as much as they'll be disappointed to lose the last two games and fail to get a medal, I think we can agree that they've put in a great shift this weekend. And if you're only if the only team that's able to beat you is the team from the States, you can keep your heads up after that. And finalists last year, 4th place this year, making 2 semi-finals in a row. I mean, they should be proud of themselves. And for Spangled, you know, a tough loss for them yesterday in a crazy game. It's hard to really know how they felt about that game afterwards, and they're going to be happy that they're going to finish with a win. And again, don't have too long now before the final starts, as we've moved them all forward a bit, so won't say too much here now on this one, but great performance by both these teams.
Yeah, great performances indeed. Big shout out to a couple of those. Mark Stone with goal, assists, and a block. Salvia with a goal and an assist. Fur with a goal and an assist. And on the other side, Santilia, Furka, Yalavra, and Vasquio, and Vatoranta, all with double ups, goal and assists. Good games across the board. Finns settle for 4th. Spangled take a bronze. It will be America dominating the podium, that much is for sure. It's been a great game. 1 match to go. Chickenpox will take on Notsuo. Make sure you stay locked in. For Noah Brinkworth, Ulti TV, and John Dock alongside, I've been Steph Pazzo. Thank you so much for joining us. We will catch y'all next time.
Thanks.
Yeah, ultimate.
Ulti.tv